Let's bring up chat here. I got show notes. I have the 2 games I've been playing.
Yeah, I'm still at 3.
Did I play anything else this week?
Yeah,
Pull up the old trophies here.
Another 2 games I really don't care about. I was reading an article about those AMD processors, and just why does everyone want to hate AMD so much?
I don't know. It's just kicking them when they're down, I think.
But everything they produce is like rock solid. And
yeah.
It's not flashy. It's just.
And unfortunately, for the last couple of years, it's just kind of been lesser than what Intel's been doing. Not by a ton, but just. You know, you can look at Intel and go, well, the bang for your buck is pretty clear there. And you go look at AMD and it's like, yeah, they're doing well.
But I mean, you can get an AMD that's going to act like an i5 for like a quarter of the price.
Sure, yeah. I don't know. Some of it, I think, too, is sort of not really like hive mind, but just sort of once that momentum gets going, it's hard to say, well, why should I get an AMD when everybody's using Intel? It's like, well, they're pretty good. And it's like, yeah. But everybody's using an Intel.
Not really. I mean, I honestly, since I switched over to AMDs, like, I'm not getting nearly the amount of crashing.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't like at this point, like, I don't understand what makes anything faster anymore.
Quit eating the carpet, you fucking dick. What was that? My cat's sitting back here eating
the carpet. Yeah, little rug muncher.
I don't know why he's doing that.
No, like, I don't understand what makes anything like super fast anymore. Because it doesn't seem like the gigahertz are really following their normal, like, doubling in speed every couple of years.
Yeah, it's more of Moore's law is kind of getting pushed out, and it's more of like how I'm gonna crack you in half. Go away. It's more of like how fast are your pipelines, how big is your cache. It's all this stuff sort of around your processor, because the raw speed doesn't matter anymore. You're just kind of piling up cores on top of it and just kind of making what you have faster and more efficient.
Yeah, like,
and smaller, truthfully.
Oh, I looked at, there was one of those display PCs on at Best Buy. So I was just kind of wandering around. So I was looking for a new battery backup, and here's this giant, like, mid ATX style tower with a big window on the side of it, and that board is like this and this.
It's like a cracker.
And I'm like looking at it, it's like, why would you want to show that, like, that? Why would you show that off?
Right. Why wouldn't you put a big card with the 2 video cards in it and like a fat power supply?
Well, no, it's like the motherboard. Like, the video card is probably about 4 inches longer than the size of this motherboard.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's, like, it's just long enough for the serial ATA port.
And what's crazy is, like, I don't know why they don't. Like, why would you show that off instead of showing, like, one of those tiny little PCs with that in there and that video card and, like, the full thing? Why wouldn't you show, like, hey, you don't need to have this stupid huge case anymore. You can just have this tiny little case, put it under your TV, and it has all this stuff. Make your own Steam box.
Yeah, I don't know. I was looking at some of those micro PCs, like the Asus makes one. It's just like you literally Velcro to the back of your TV.
Mm-hmm. I love those things.
Those things are like this big.
Yep. We actually, at work, I have a bunch of TVs that show like diagnostic and monitoring stuff, and all we have Velcro to the back of it are Raspberry Pis.
Oh.
And then all you need is, and now even the new model comes with Wi-Fi built in, so basically all you need is power and an HDMI cable, and power just gets carried over it's a micro USB like you use for your phone.
Yeah.
So for like, I think each one I spend 45, $50, and I get like basically a super slow Linux machine hooked up to these TVs.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And there's an emulator platform on there that you can load it as the OS, and it has like 6 or 7 emulators on there. You just play a bunch of stuff hooked right to your TV.
That and whatchamacallits, like the wireless keyboards have gotten so much better.
Yep.
Like the ones that have like the touchpad and then the left click on your other thumb.
Yep.
Like
I have one from Logitech, I think it is. It's like a
yeah,
$20 one that's just a keyboard and it has a touchpad on the side. Touchpad's not great, but
it's
I'm not
serviceable.
using it for like, oh, I'm playing frickin'
Fruit
I'm playing
Ninja.
Call of Duty on there or anything.
Yeah. I don't know. It's there's so much cool stuff.
Yeah.
Like it still blows my mind like that in there that Intel like Think chip. That's like a little
Yeah.
stick.
Man, I wish those were better, but they're getting there.
Yeah, the second iteration seems like they improved a lot.
Yeah, I feel like by the time it gets to the third one, I feel like that would be something you might be able to recommend to a lot of people that don't need something super serious.
Well, no, like just for surfing stuff on the internet.
Yep.
And you have like a legitimate dedicated piece of hardware. You're not trying to go through the TV software. That's horrible.
And the thing that I keep telling people too is not to think about it as something you need to plug into your TV. You can still have it. Like imagine, say my parents just want to surf the internet and like do email and stuff. They can plug that into a computer monitor on their desk, and they can still have the whole thing, but not with all these wires and something they have to manage and all this
Yeah.
hullabaloo. They can just plug it in the HDMI port and then turn the monitor on, and their computer is ready to go. I think that's one of the real strengths.
Yeah, that's definitely something that's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I lost my train of thought. What started me on that? I don't know. I'm just confused about PC parts anymore.
Yeah, I was looking at building another PC, and I'm trying to weigh, like, when you look at something like, I think Alienware makes great machines. That would probably be the place I would go to buy a machine. I really don't like a lot of the companies that build specific, like, gaming PCs, because I feel like,
Oh,
they,
the markup's stupid.
well, not only the markup is stupid, but I feel like they push you so hard into these cases that are just these monstrosities. We have 3 of them at work that we bought from a company like that. Cases are so big they have wheels on them. Like,
Why would your PC need a set of casters on the bottom of it?
no idea. But like that's to me, I know that's like an extreme case, but to me that's kind of case being a double entendre. Um, but like I
So you take a bow.
thank you. Um, but like that case that I sent you last week,
Yeah.
I almost want to say like, hey, I just buy me one of these cases and just put all these parts in there. Like, because when I look at doing it myself, it's probably with all the hard drives and like buying a Windows license and all that stuff, getting it legitimate is probably $1,700, which isn't that bad because I'm putting like a 980 in there. I'm putting a really efficient power supply. I'll have like 3 hard drives in there. There's a lot of stuff, and Windows 10 isn't cheap if you go legitimate.
Yeah.
But if you look at a computer like that for one of those places, I'm probably going to pay $800 more. And if
Yeah.
you look at somewhere like Alienware, I'll spend about $1,700 for a processor that's 1 generation older and RAM that's 2 generations older. So I'm not really gaining anything. And I know it's this like price versus time sort of thing, but
I don't know, but you look at like your typical work desktops have so much horsepower that they just don't need.
mhm.
Like the idiot I work with, like he I need a I need a 3 GB GPU and an i7, the fastest one you have.
What
Like
are
what are you doing?
you crunching the genome over there? Like what's
Well, no,
happening?
he's like, well, I need to edit Tom's drone videos. I was like, well,
What?
number when have you ever done that?
Right.
And two, what are you doing?
Right.
Like you bought like an $1,100 machine for his workstation.
I mean, we buy machines like that at work for our engineers because like they need the RAM, they need a big SSD. But I actually had this conversation with someone because they're like, "Oh, I need a new hard drive in my machine. Like, can you just buy me like a 250 gig, like a 500 gig SATA drive?" And I was like, "No, like I can't buy something that's small anymore without paying more money for it. Like, I have to buy you at minimum a 1 terabyte drive, which is gonna be like $80. If you want a 2 terabyte drive, it's like $90. But if I go buy like a 250 gig drive, someone might sell that, but it's gonna be like $200.
Yeah.
And so it's such a hard thing to wrap your head around, especially having paid attention to this so long, like you and I have, where it's just even
Well,
like building computers now, where it's like, oh, we just put this in here and then everything kind of clips in, and okay, I'm done.
well,
That was
yeah.
easy.
It's like an 8-piece puzzle
Yep.
now, and it's like everything fits, and you're like, man,
Oh, and it turned
I
on.
remember this used to be a challenge.
Yep.
Like,
And like that's what I keep telling people is like so many people are still really afraid of building PCs, and I understand it. I don't blame them, but what I've always told people, and it's even more true now than it was before, is like you said, it's just a puzzle. Everything
yeah.
only goes in one place. You literally plug it into the thing it goes into. You plug a cable into it. You plug all this stuff in. You read the instructions. You plug all this stuff in right, and then you turn it on.
Well, now like even everything in it's grounded, so you can't even statically ruin it
Right.
anymore.
As long as you put those little gold screws in between the case and the motherboard,
Yeah.
you're fine. And like even remember back in the old days where to plug
Remember you had to
in.
wear the wristband with the thing attached to the case?
Yeah. Well, I was thinking too of like plugging in the buttons on your case. It was like one little cable per, and it was like this brick of pins where you're like, okay, so HW plus means okay, the ground, the black or the red or what? It's all just one block now, and it just goes in one way. It just click
Yes.
right on the motherboard.
Well, yeah, just to get like your auxiliary and microphone
Oh
ports
yeah,
that
if
were
you
in the
wanted to
front of
plug
your
that stuff
case,
in, like
the lights, you had like
your turbo button.
this stuff, and you're like you just get in there and just
Yep.
get in there,
Oops, starting to rain
and it,
again.
and it was such a pain in the ass.
Yeah, my dad and I, when we built a computer, when I was
That's
probably
why I
around.
invested in like 6-inch needle nose pliers, so I can just kind of go and pop them right in.
Yep.
Now it all like connects in this prefab brick. All right, this goes here, this goes here, this goes here, and the whole thing just goes stink. You're like,
My favorite thing too is modular power supplies. Just like only running the cables you need to run.
yes.
It's amazing.
God, who was Enersys? I think is the one that first started doing that.
Yeah.
I don't even know they're making power supplies anymore.
Yeah, I don't either.
Best warranty in the business, folks.
It's true. Oh man.
All right,
I don't even.
I need to get whatchamacallit up here though.
I don't even
Twitch.
think I turned on my Xbox One this week.
What did you start playing last week?
DOA 5.
Yes.
I didn't have much time to play it this week.
All right, where is chat?
I never really finished Forza Horizon 2. I should have played more of that.
I don't know. Like I feel like I'm in such a slump, but I'm having so much fun playing Borderlands. So
Yeah. Oh, you're just wringing as much as you can out of that game.
Jesus, I have 9 days in the pre-sequel right now,
Jeez.
and I'm not done. You know what the funny thing? So check this out. So I haven't quite figured out how to load my character, or migrate my character into the Handsome Jack collection.
Hmm.
Um,
From the 360 one?
No. So I thought what I did is I had to apply the update, the compatibility update, and then save it to your cloud saves.
Mm-hmm.
So I go over to that and it's like, okay, do you want to overwrite this accent? I'm like, well, no, I just saved him there. So
Hmm.
I'm quite figured out. So I tried doing that. I was like, all right, so I saved that and then went to load it and it says, no, this isn't gonna work. It's your whatever. It's just something failed. And I was like, I just spent like 3 hours updating this fucking thing.
That's really weird.
So I'm gonna make another attempt. So actually, that's probably good show stuff. Why am I talking
That's
about it
true,
now?
I guess. Oh, oh, I forgot to retweet this business. Where are you? There you are. Oh, it has the wrong show number, but that's okay.
Oh shit, I haven't filed yet. Damn it. What the fuck did I order on Best Buy while we were recording last week? It's the only reason why this would be open.
That's a good question.
I can pre-order the steel box for Force Awakens.
Oh, nice.
There's another one coming out that I wanted to do. Finally watched Creed.
How was that?
I cried like a baby.
Yeah.
It is not like that the movie's sad. It's just that scene where when he's running and like the kids on the side of the street is like, hey, you going to see Rock? I'm like, yes. And he's running up the hill. And, and I was expecting to get to the steps
Yeah.
in front of the Philadelphia building, and he didn't do that. He just got up to the gym where Rocky's hanging out the window waving at everyone like Mama Santo, you know. And it was such a moment in that movie.
Yeah.
That movie was really good.
That's surprising.
Well, they did a really unique idea, with having it being Apollo Creed's illegitimate son,
Right.
and just I don't know, like the whole legacy thing was really neat, and Jeez, I almost messed up my social. If college applications teaches you anything, it's your social security number.
It's true. What are you even doing right now that needs your social?
Oh, follow my U-boat.
Oh. I thought you were like working on your taxes over there.
No, I did do my taxes myself this year for like the first time.
Hey, nice.
TurboTax works out pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
So like as you're putting this stuff in, it's calculating your like on the left hand side of the page, like after you're putting all this stuff in, and it really it's like taxes for dummies.
I've used it in the past. We can't use it anymore, unfortunately, but
You have a little too itemized.
no, there's some stock stuff we have that you try to tell TurboTax what to do, and they're like, right, tax it, and it's like, no, it's not. Never mind. So we use H&R Block, which is basically the same thing.
Yeah, I did. Like I used to go to H&R Block, and for some reason this year, like I just not feel like giving that guy like $260.
Well, we just use their website.
Oh, it works that way too.
Yeah.
Um.
I think it pays. It's like TurboTax. You pay like $20 or $30.
Well, yeah, it was 45 for my federal, and then which was I thought was supposed to be free, but clearly it wasn't. And then another like 30 for state.
Did you use their website or the download? I think it's free if you buy the box, but like the box is $40. So like, why would you do that?
I'm still, it was my first go around, and I was very pleased with my experience.
Yeah.
But yeah, so when I was claiming my unemployment, I watched my tax return go from 5,200 to 3,000. And I'm like,
Well then,
but I had taxes taken out of it, so I put that in, so it bumped it back up to 4, and I'm like, ah, jeez.
I'll take it.
At this point, I might as well just keep that $600 that I put in.
Yeah. All right.
Um,
Whenever you're ready with done with that, let's kick this
yeah.
thing off here. We got a few peeps watching us here, so give our fans plenty enough time to hop in here.
Um, yeah, but that, I mean, it was really easy. And then trying to figure out my whatchamacallit. Oh, the city taxes. Fuck.
You know, that's the best thing since leaving Ohio is I can file those online.
I mean, it was the most convoluted thing. It's like, all right, so you have your worksheet that they give you, and it's supposed to be fill outable online, but yet I can't even put the full year in because it gives me 201, and then it won't put the 6 in it. Like, all right, so I download it. It won't work with Bluebeam, so I'm like, all right, so I open it in Adobe, and I try putting the same thing.
Ugh.
So then I had to download it, write it all out. It's like, okay, well, you paid city tax here, so you get a credit for that, and then you subtract that. Whichever's greater is what you owe. But you have this, so you really owe us like $180 more than you thought.
Great.
Like, I was literally to the point where I was gonna send him, I was like, here's $650. I hope it's enough. But no.
Just send me back whatever's extra.
Yeah. Let me see, that is 15995. Sheldon. No. Frank Parkway.
If that's your address, remember we're still live.
It's not.
Okay.
Not even in the same city.
Yeah, okay.
And that is Columbus. I'll call it 43201. Just make that up. Phone. Oh, it's sales. 33. Not hiring. Nope. Okay. Next. I agree. Next.
And next.
I have one more thing I need to check. Review reemployment activities. All right. Not resume, not active date. I don't know. Does that mean that's right? I don't understand this.
What do you want from me?
I took all your dumb tests. Oh yeah, last year I had to go on to Ohio Means Jobs and make a resume because I had to post it on Monster, which is great because now I get emailed out of everybody.
Oh, is that for the seasonal unemployment?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I do that, I jump through the hoops, and then I got denied a week. I'm like, why did I get denied? Well, because your resume was inactive. What do you mean I gotta make it active?
Right.
Like, where's that button?
Right. Also, why?
Yeah, because like I'm seasonal. Do this every year.
Yeah.
Oh, the hoops you gotta jump to for free money. I guess whatever.
Yeah.
All right, that is done and done. Give me my $300.
All right, you ready to kick this thing off?
Yes, sir.
All right, starting in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to another episode of That Video Game Podcast. I'm your host, Boston. Joining me, as always, is Knobs.
Heyo.
Let's just get right into it, Knobs. What have you been playing?
All right. Well, just for the sake of expediency, Monday Night Game Night was a good time again. And come join us at 10 p.m. EST for Battlefield 4 on the Xbox One. Just come on. That game's just unscripted madness.
You don't even need to be good.
No, you don't need to be good to have a good time.
Yeah.
You just need to be in a party with us and Donnie.
You just got to bring yourself.
Yeah. Just, you know.
And not be offended by too much.
No. And it's not the point where, I have to preface it with check your feelings at the door, right. But you really don't.
It's not really a personal attack, but,
No.
everything is fair game.
No. everything, and probably we make fun of each other worse than we would make some, or even tease somebody new.
Sure, yeah.
But no, just come in, put your happy hat on, and have some fun shooting your friends.
Yep.
Is what we do.
Shootfriends.com.
Yes. All right, so again, what I've been playing the most of has been Borderlands, the pre-sequel. And
Anyways, the pre-sequel.
I did, well, no, because that's going to play into what happens next. So I've been playing this. I have 9 days of playtime. I have 3 characters I've been playing with. I have like a badass rank at like the 14,000 at this point.
Naturally.
Like it's dumb, and I am still finding stuff in this game.
Really?
Still, there is in Elsyr, which is one of the last areas you uncover. There's a bunch of elevators that go up. The last elevator on the bottom of this gigantic cavern with this huge crystal in it goes up into blackness. You take that up through the tube, and then you pop out a pipe, like Super Mario. Everything's like gold bricks all around you, and everything's pixelated. So then you fight like 20 or 30 guys, and there's a loot chest in it. Awesome.
That's great.
I wish I'd have done that in the other modes, other than doing it in Ultimate Vault Hunter, because, yeah, that was a lot of guys to kill with, like, no shelter at all.
Right. So one of those times in Doom, you pick up a key and the lights go out, and you're like, oh, God. What am I surrounded by those invisible pinkies? Like, what's going on here?
Well, you know, the invisible pinkies weren't really too invisible.
That's true.
They tried.
Like TV really static.
Yes. So I found that, and then apparently there's a skag in the research and development area, and there are 4 pressure plates hidden in the R&D part in Helio. So if you go to these, you'll wake up the skag, and you can pet him 3 times, and he vomits out loot.
Great.
Apparently at some point he vomits a legendary, so now I have to farm that. Because why not?
Yeah.
So literally my new thing, like not my new thing, but the thing that I've been milking the most in this has been the grinder. Like I've been trying to take full advantage of the grinder. Mm-hmm. Because I'm at the point where I have out-leveled all my legendary equipment, so it's all worthless to me.
Yeah.
Like, just completely, like, it's garbage. Like, I don't even want to look at it. I'm so angry with it right now.
You disgust me.
You 10,000 hit points. Bah! Worthless. But, yeah, so I need to up my equipment because right now I am really struggling. And I got grieved by one of our friends. So, I was playing Ultimate Vault Hunter mode. Tom Gamer just picked the game up. And he joins our game just to figure he'd just die and just collect some quick levels.
Yeah. Like,
real easy. So he went from 3 to 12 in the time he was playing with us.
Nice.
Like, almost, like, you see ding, 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 ding coming up. And I kill stuff at a murderous pace in that game. Like, it is. Like, I am not messing around in Ultimate Vault Hunter mode because everything's a threat.
Yeah.
I need to kill you as fast as I can. So, he's going through that. And then I got into a boss battle at the end of the game, though, just to warn you, it is one of the worst. It takes so long.
Oh, really?
Like, unless, like, you are, like, in true Vault Hunter mode or regular, Vault Hunter mode, that he's just a pushover because you can take him down so fast. But in Ultimate Vault Hunter mode, you are not equipped and you are just ticking his life away.
Oh, yeah.
Like, little bit at a time. I fought this thing with the help of Chris, I think his name's Splaz, on Xbox One, and Tom. So Tom falls asleep, and literally took me an hour and a half to beat this guy. So I finally get done, big relief, going around, looking at all the loot, grabbing my perps, and then I go to the next area. Tom Gamer's in a menu. It's because he fell asleep and I was paused. So I'm sitting here. So then I get on my phone, pull up the Xbox One Smart Glass app, and I'm just wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Tom, Tom, hi Tom, Tom, hi, hi Tom, Tom, hi, hi. Like I spamming his thing, hoping to wake him up. No, and I'm like, all right, well, I can't just quit. I can't kick him because then he's going to lose all his progress because no one is saved at this point. Because there's no save point until I go to the next area.
Right.
So I'm like, all right, so I'm going to save and quit. It'll safely boot everyone. And then I went to bed. I get up next morning, like, all right, cool. I'm finally in the home stretch of this game. I load it up. I'm back at that checkpoint, and I got to fight him again.
Awesome.
So like, nope. Going back to Concordia, I'm going to play with my loot, grind out some Grutter equipment.
Yeah.
Because now all I'm trying to do is to grind loom shined equipment. Because it seems like those perks are the best things that I could have right now. Better than any legendary item that I currently own. And I can't grind my legendaries because they're level locked.
Oh,
so if I grind 3 pieces of level 50 equipment, I'm going to get a piece of level 50 equipment. That's not going to do what I need it to do. So now I got to grind out like 65, 66 level stuff, just hoping to get something great. So now I am just, it's Borderlands pre-sequel. So now I'm just trying to get this stuff, and this turned into my Diablo nightmare.
Oh no.
Of stuff that I just
you're min-maxing all this gear and
now I'm like into it and just trying to, all right, where do I put this skill point now that I've got this unlocked and this? No, I need to respec.
How many times can I pet this skag today to get the best loot?
Oh. Well, I have found out that, so now I'm trying to milk badass achievements too.
Right.
So now I'm grinding in Serenity's ways because it seems to be the best area that I can kill stuff in a reasonably fast manner with my current set of equipment. So now I'm trying to grind out, sniper rifle kills, like the one shot, like unaware one shots. I get 2 to 3 of those, and then another 25 to 26 aerial kills because I want my new head for Death from Above. Because I need to have it.
Yeah, it's one more thing. You got to fill it up.
It is another thing. So I'm trying to fill this up, and I did the math, and I need to complete this. I need to do this 300 more times.
Oh, that's it?
To get this head.
If it was anyone else, I would ask, is it really worth it?
It's 100% worth it. And
it absolutely is. In a way that I understand and can't explain.
So now I'm crunching the math and I'm seeing what my yield is per turn. So I go in and I kill the big thing. So now I can do that. So I can harvest moonstone. So I can do more grinds. And it's this nightmare of the same thing. It's Groundhog Day every 6 minutes.
And this is the reason I feel like every once in a while someone asks you like, Knobs, why don't you play an MMO? This reason. Because MMOs are this problem times a million. There's a million other things to do.
This is why I've never played those games.
Yeah.
Because and luckily I learned my lesson in the early 2000s with music games.
Yeah.
That I can't do that to myself again.
You can't not stop.
Don't get me wrong, I would love to play Rock Band.
Oh yeah.
Do you have any idea what that would do to me?
Your hands would crack off.
I was remixing songs in amplitude and frequency.
Yeah.
A lot. Not just a little bit.
A number of memory cards, a lot.
Yes. So I can't. It's just I'm gonna do it because I have to.
Because it's there.
It's this compulsion that I need to. It makes me. It tickles that little part of my brain, I'm making progress.
It's what you always hear from people. Why do you climb that mountain? And they say, well, because it's there. It's why are you going to spend a lot more time doing this thing 300 times to get that head? And it's well, because it's there.
Well, it's not just because it's there. Why not?
Yeah.
What's the reason not to? I enjoy this game enough that I'm willing to put this amount of time into it.
Yeah. If it wasn't fun, you wouldn't be doing it.
No, the game is so fun. The
Yeah.
shooting is so good.
Yeah.
And now like so I've kind of not really abandoned that quest as much as it's like in the back of my mind. It's like I got a spare hour. I can do this. I can do this 10 more times and get this. It's- just chip away at it.
If I just do a little bit every day,
It is,
see,
and
you
then
just need to invest.
eventually it'd be done.
You just need to invest $20 of your own money, and then get 5 of your friends to invest $20 of their money.
Which is technically what I did because I bought Donnie and I talked Tom Gamer into buying it.
And then if they get their friends to spend money,
Well, here's the thing: like everyone seems to be getting on board of playing this, and I am on the tail end of it. Like,
right? They're like, "Man, Borderlands is really great," and you're like,
that was so like
"You don't even know."
that was 2 weeks I'm late.
You're
like,
the grizzled old fisherman in the corner, like, yeah. You're just
well,
getting started, son."
But that's the thing that game does so well is you share all this stuff, like to the point where if I'm playing in someone else's game, I am literally earning 0 XP now.
Right.
Like on True Vault Hunter mode, I am getting 0 XP unless they are a badass, and I am getting like 1,
Right.
maybe 2,
Right.
to the point where it just doesn't matter. Like the amount of XP I have to accrue is massive at this point.
It's for the greater good.
So I am 4 levels away from top.
Ooh.
I think it's 70 is the max, and then I might put my jacks away and do something. And I like at this point, I love this game. I need to see Nisha's playthrough. I need to see Athena's playthrough.
Mm-hmm.
So in that vein, I had this itch. I wanted to play Borderlands 2 again.
Okay.
So so I'm thinking like, all right, so I heard I can migrate my character, and I thought I had a max level Axton in my stable, like ready to go.
Okay.
And
From which platform? 360 or?
from the Xbox 360
Okay.
from Borderlands 2.
I have migrated my character, so I can help you.
Okay, so I load up Borderlands 2 on my 360. I'm like, okay, apply update, fine.
Makes sense.
It's 594 megabytes.
Okay.
This patch, this compatibility patch. I'm like, but I have all the DLC already. What do I need all this for?
To be the most compatible, Knobs.
Yes. Well, you know what? I am amenable.
That's true.
If I'm nothing else, I'm a very amenable person.
That's true.
So I go through this patch, and I was like, okay, so I'm gonna upload this to a cloud save. All right, so I think I got it. So then I go to that was last night, and I couldn't keep my eyes open because I had enough killing Kragans that night apparently. So I upload it, and then I go to load up Hands of Jack collection, and then open Borderlands 2, and it won't let me download my Axton into Hands of Jack collection.
Can you see Axton in the cloud? Is he sitting there on a cloud?
Yes, he's sitting there in the cloud,
Yeah.
and a wish and a prayer,
Right.
just hanging up there. And then, like, it's like, well, do you want to overwrite this and get rid of him? Or, like, oh, what? Why would I want to do that? Because I have, like, a 39 Salvatore I want to do this to, too.
Sure. It should only say, like, download from the cloud, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Do I have to change his name? Like, Exton 1X or something? So
What does it say when you try and download?
I don't remember. This was, like, 6 hours ago.
I think all you need to do, because you uploaded it from 360 to the cloud, I think you just need to download it from the cloud to your Xbox One. Do you already have an Axton on your Xbox One?
Just whatever the basic Axton is. That character.
You haven't leveled it or anything?
No, I haven't even done anything with it.
That's weird.
So I hit this brick wall, and I'm like, screw it. I got a DLC character to play that I've never seen before.
Sure.
So I started Krieg.
Oh, no. Okay. Krieg is interesting.
Yeah, I remember the trailer for Krieg.
Yeah.
Where he has that very smart internal monologue, and anything that comes out of his mouth is gibberish.
Right.
I want to see that happen in the game, and I don't know if it's built that way.
Some of that stuff happens in his skill tree, but I don't remember a lot of that happening with how he interacts with people. It's been a
I don't.
long time. I didn't play that much Krieg because I didn't find it very. I found playing as Gage way more satisfying than Krieg.
Well, I've committed to a playthrough with Krieg,
Mhm.
and I've always had someone playing Cage around me. I never have used the Necromancer yet, so
Gage is really interesting, but there's Gage is hard because there's really two trees. One of them is, do you really want to pump your effort into your guy that floats behind you?
the Death Trap.
Yeah. Or do you want to do the anarchy system, which is basically you build up damage, but it hurts your accuracy the more bullets you fire without manually reloading. So it's this thing where you're dancing this fine line of, okay, I'm doing a ton of damage, but I'm not super accurate, but every time you reload manually, which is something we are now, it's ingrained in us. All right, I've shot 3 bullets and everybody's dead. I gotta reload.
Yeah,
That blows out all of that benefit you've just built up.
it seems a lot like the stack system for Doppelganger Jack is
It might be the same thing.
I just don't spend money anymore.
Right. What is
I
that?
was so hoping you were farting.
No.
I
I
really,
don't.
I thought that was great because you kind of leaned forward a little bit.
How uncouth, Knobs.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't know. I think Gage is really fun. And there's another tree, too. The friendship tree that seemed, when they were explaining it originally, they were really pushing it towards somebody who's maybe playing a first-person shooter for the first time. Because it'll do a lot of stuff where the majority of your bullets will ricochet off of walls and hit enemies, but it'll do half the damage. So even if you're not that great using both sticks yet, you can still do a bunch of damage. So that was pretty interesting. A skill's built around that.
yeah. So, like, those are the two things. Those are literally the only things I haven't done in Borderlands 2.
Right.
Are those two characters?
You did all the DLC, right? Like all the holiday DLC and all
Oh,
that stuff.
jeez, yes, I did. I
Yeah,
loved it.
I think Meg and I bombed out of that holiday DLC after like this on the Valentine's Day one, I think.
Yeah, the Valentine's Day one was kind of dumb. The
Yeah.
Easter one was so much fun though.
I don't know if we played that one yet.
Um, and the whatchamacallit, Halloween was always good.
Halloween one was really good. I like that one.
But I'm starting to think like, it was what was it? Dr. Ned in Borderlands 1 where
Hmm.
you had like the Jacobs like manufacturing wing with the giant logs and trees and stuff and
Yep.
everything was in the swamp.
Yeah.
I kind of want to play Borderlands 1 now. Like,
I was thinking about Borderlands 1 the other day about the zombie island of Dr. Ned,
yes, it
where
was so great.
it gave you like one achievement point for beating Dr. Ned, and then
Yeah.
like 10 minutes later you fought the real one. It gave you like 24 achievement points.
Yeah.
I thought that was sort of because everyone was like, "Oh my god, 1 point!" Like that was when we really cared about ending on a
E-
0 or 5.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, "Oh my god, 1 point! Like where am I going to get the rest of these points?" And then a couple minutes later, it's like, "Oh, all right,
And they
that
were
was pretty good."
both secret achievements too, so you couldn't see it coming.
Yeah,
But yeah, so I remembered all that DLC being so much fun in one, except for Mad Moxie, just because it was so broken.
I don't. I would say Mad Moxie was, I think unanimously a misstep. I think the other one with all the driving was one that I really hated. The very last one, no, not the very last one
What,
was,
the one with General Knox?
yeah, really. I liked
Oh,
everything in that except for all that driving.
yeah, the bridge. I just thought it was a unique breakup between the other ones that you're taking these highway systems everywhere at these
Yeah,
little outposts that you had to go clean out. I just remember loving that General Knox just for the verbal content in that game
yeah.
or in that expansion was just so Great.
Was that the one where you fight Nakamura, or was that in 2?
No, that was in 2.
Okay. It was still
Nakamura.
one of my favorite boss battles of Borderlands. Where it just falls down the stairs.
um, he makes a great cameo in pre-sequel.
Oh, does he?
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
Oh yeah. Like and it, like the great thing with the like with that whole thing is it even foreshadows what happens in Tales from the Borderlands.
Oh really?
Um, it is it's man, I love that game. I
So you
love
were just, 20
I am
feet deep into this Borderlands well at this point.
if I
Yeah.
mean come on.
Wearing the hat.
Where like I am like full on like I have a border like a stable of Borderlands
You are a
shirts.
Borderland.
Yes. And my golden chest right behind me.
That's true.
But it is just oh my gosh. Yeah, man. But I'm having so much fun playing and I hadn't played Borderlands 2 in so long
Yeah.
now that it's almost fresh again.
When the Handsome Collection came out, I popped that in first and started playing through that again. I was like, man, Borderlands 2 is still really good. That's a solid game.
It looks so good.
And I think the best thing is it just runs really smoothly.
Yeah, and the same thing with the pre-sequel is absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
And the content still isn't getting old. Like I am playing through the Claptrap DLC again with that because I'm figuring farming some glitched weapons here,
Right.
just because they do ridiculous damage and weird stuff. So I don't know.
Oh man.
So I am all the way in on a Borderlands rabbit hole again.
Well,
Again.
I know the answer to this, but did you play anything else this week?
Absolutely not.
All right, I played more Tales of Zestiria. I think I'm 20 hours in now. I think I played about 10 hours since last week. It's good. There's a couple of issues I have with it. The first one's it's weird. Your stats don't really increase when you level up. And I don't mind that in a JRPG, but it's really weird because I think what they're trying to push you into is to make sure that you increase your stats by equipping better weapons and better gear, and then combining, like I was talking about last week where they have that grid system, you're combining all these effects on all these different items. They're really pushing you into that, but it kind of couples with the other issue I have is this game is way too easy. On the normal difficulty, I died once on a fight so far in my 20 hours, and that was really just because I was being dumb and doing a dumb thing, and the game just punished me. From talking to a friend of the show, Soulman, and JRPG aficionado, it sounds like it's not really worth it to move up to the next difficulty because that makes boss battles too hard. Because then at that point you kind of have to squeeze everything out of that equipment system that you're not encouraged to do on the normal difficulty. So I kind of don't mind that it's too easy because that's really what I'm looking for in a game right now. It's just kind of, let's go along with the ride. Game's really pretty. It's got a bunch of anime stuff in it. Let's just enjoy what's going on. But I kind of wish it was a little bit more evenly balanced.
Okay.
Because it makes it to the point when you're fighting normal enemies in a dungeon, you kind of don't want to because there's no real reason to do that. Because if you're not leveling up your stats through leveling up, then why are you bothering to level up, really? Why wouldn't you just... the only reason is to fight money, to fight monsters to get money to buy better equipment in the next town. But that's not a wholly satisfying feedback loop, really. So it's a little bit weird. I feel like there might be something that I'm not entirely wrapping my head around, but I'm about halfway through this game at this point, and I'm doing pretty well, so I'm not really going to worry about it too much.
Yeah, just ride it out to the end.
Yeah. And it the other complaint I have is I'm still really enjoying this game, mostly for the ride. There have been a couple of cutscenes lately where there's something that happened about 10 hours in, so I guess minor spoilers if anybody's playing this game at this point. You go and you fight this monster and you kill it, and shock and surprise, it comes back to life after you've killed it, and it almost kills you. And
Tell me the white hair guy is the bad guy.
does he have white hair? No, actually, he's super cool looking. He is.
Is he obviously the bad guy, though?
It couldn't be any clearer. He's basically a giant evil dude that's basically made out of darkness and has this giant lion's head and like lion's claws and talons on his hands and feet. He looks pretty cool. He has a pretty cool voice. It's all pretty cool. In the way where you look at it and you go, that's an anime villain. Either it's the super pretty white hair guy or like an evil monster who's like the embodiment of darkness.
The guy with the
something.
elongated nose.
Yeah, exactly. The universe made me like this, so I'll destroy it. So in that cutscene, everyone looks at the main character and goes, I see what's happening. And they're like, oh, how long have you hid this thing? Why haven't you told us? And I'm like, what are we talking about? Like, what's happening? And I went into the main menu because it has like a story recap thing in there. And it says, they finally found out that the main character has been hiding, that he can't see out of his right eye anymore because the thing he's been doing has been degrading his body. And I was like, how would I have found that out? Like, all right, hold on. There we go. So it's sort of like, okay, maybe I'm missing something, or maybe I'm not entirely paying attention to it, but do I really care at this point, maybe? Probably not, because I'm enjoying the ride. So I'm still enjoying that. The game, Soul Man was right, it's very much built around, you should probably play it at least 2 times, and carry over all your stuff. Like most Tales games, it encourages you to play it at least twice, to kind of carry over the majority of the stuff you can between 2 playthroughs. It seems like it's probably only about 40 hours. So that'll probably, the next playthrough will probably be maybe 20 hours, because you'll cut out about half of that length from cutscenes. There are a ton of cutscenes. A lot of them are short, but it's the sort of thing where it's like, you go between floors of a dungeon, and then there's a cutscene for another minute or 2. And
right.
You get halfway through the dungeon, and then there's another minute cutscene. It's just, it's kind of chopping that experience up. But I'm having fun with it. I was really looking for a traditional JRPG, and Tales of Zestiria very much is a traditional Tales JRPG, so I'm kind of getting what I wanted, whether it's good or not. So, and the last game I've been playing... What is happening?
I don't know.
I'm going to close my window here.
Burn it to the ground.
The remix!
It sounds like they're rocking it till the wheels fall off.
Yeah. Supercell came out with their new mobile game this week. They made Clash of Clans, which I never played. But
yeah, they got great advertising, though.
They do, and apparently everybody else on the face of the planet has played Clash of Clans except for probably the 2 of us. So I downloaded their new game because I couldn't not download it on the... a free treasure chest is waiting for you. It's Clash Royale on iOS. Hold on, I need to fire it up because a free treasure chest is waiting for me. This is a really interesting game because it seems like it's kind of combining a card-based system from, let's say, Hearthstone, where you have a pool of energy, and playing a card takes that energy down. But and it does the one versus one multiplayer only, and you can only chat through predetermined things like thanks or good game or good luck, stuff like that.
All right.
But what's interesting is it almost seems like it's a reverse tower defense game plus a MOBA, maybe? I don't know. It's basically when you play a card, you're playing almost like an RTS unit, where it's, I'm going to play the skeleton army card. You pop that down, and 10 skeletons show up on your side of the map wherever you put it, and they start marching towards the castles on the other side of the map where your enemy is. And you and your enemy are playing these cards that play units that start them almost like in a MOBA, where they're creeps, where they start marching across the map to attack the towers on the other side of the map. So it's kind of interesting. The maximum amount of time that a match can take with double overtime is 4 minutes. And once those 4 minutes is over, if you get to that point, it calls a draw, and your match is over. The minimum amount of time I think it can take is about 2 minutes. So you're getting in, and you're just banging out matches sort of left and right. And it's a really great mobile game, because you don't have to sit down and say, all right, for the next half an hour I'm going to play a match. It's not something you see in Dota or League of Legends, maybe.
I got 4 minutes. Am I gonna grind out some death from above, or am I gonna play another game?
Right, exactly. And the great thing you would like, Knobs, is there are experience bars everywhere.
Stop it.
All over the place. Each one of your units has an experience bar. But where I feel like they got that feedback loop, they made it correctly, is that every time you fill up, so basically you're opening these chests, which to maybe equates that in TVGP language would be a pin pack.
Oh no.
Yeah, I know. You open up one of those, and it'll have probably some gold, which you use to upgrade your units. It has gems, which basically either turn into gold, or you can open up chests faster that you win from playing matches. And then it has some cards. So maybe to level up one unit the first time, you need 2 cards, and 4 cards the next time, 12 cards the next time, something like that. So if you open up a chest and you get, let's say, 4 skeleton army cards, that might level it up once, or that might level it up 4 points into 50 cards that you need to level it up the next time. But each time you level up one of these units, it gets way stronger and more resilient. So when you pop down that skeleton army card that you've leveled up, it's doing way more damage, and it'll take way more damage from the enemy. I've been playing a lot of this game. I think I popped just to see what the experience is. It's totally free, and you legitimately don't need to spend any money, probably for a really long time, if not at all. The only thing money gets you is gems, and I popped, I think, $3 into it, which got me a couple hundred gems, I think, which has lasted me quite a while.
Oh.
I would genuinely recommend this to people. Just try. It's on iOS now. I think it's also on Android as well. I have an E1M1 clan. It's just called E1M1. Toss me an invite request if you wanna join the clan. It's one of those games where the tutorial is really good. It's like 6 matches. After that point, you basically play multiplayer only, and the matches are so fast. And I've had so many matches where they feel like fighting game matches almost, where I'm like down to when you're in a fighting game and you're down to like pixels on your health, and you're jumping back, and you're defending and all that, and you get one good low sweep in and it kills the enemy. I feel like that in these games where the matches are so short that you're encouraged to really push forward and be aggressive, because sitting there and being defensive doesn't really get you anything. Because at the end of the day, if you guys both draw, you don't really get anything. You only get rewards if you win. So that's Clash Royale. It's out now. I would recommend it. It's free. Why not try it? There's nothing to lose except for a little bit of time.
Just a little.
Just a little. Yeah. But that's all I've been playing this week, so let's take a break.
I'm ready.
Open this window back up. There we go. You dime back for a title.
Hey. Hold up. I'm rocking till the wheels come off.
Oh, man.
Bing, 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 bing.
All right. I am ready for this next segment whenever you are.
Ready.
Do we have any tweets? Oh, we do, yeah.
I know, I just had this open.
I see there's a couple of new viewers here. Thank you very much for hopping in, joining us. Big shout out to all of you fine folks.
And I don't know if I can ever hate Borderlands. I just don't know.
They would have to really screw it up. It would have to be the Guilty Gear Asuka of Borderlands.
But I still buy every Guilty Gear game.
That's true. I didn't play too much of Third Zerd, whatever.
Exerd.
However you pronounce it. But then they just announced that Revelator is coming to consoles, and I'm like, I need to buy that, don't I? I haven't bought a BlazBlue game lately. I'm thinking about doing that again.
I don't know.
BlazBlue's so good.
It is. All those games are so good. I don't know if my thumb can handle that anymore.
I know. The thing that I think is the only thing that's bothering me is I don't know if I have the time to get good at one of those games again.
I don't know, because it's been so far removed since we played those as heavily as we did.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Dimebag asks, hey Boston, what's the crime rate on your block? We live probably 2 blocks from a fire station, so that's what you guys are hearing.
What's the arson rate in your neighborhood?
Yeah, maybe that's the better question. Grown Gamer says, Knobs, if you ever want to fire it up on PC, you think a lot of people got BL2 on Steam. I almost feel like Borderlands 2 is kind of the new Portal 2, where it's like, everybody's got it.
I don't know. It's just, I have so much invested in this arena of it. I don't know if I can do... What do you want?
Like the Microsoft Borderlands ecosystem already?
I know, buddy. I'm sitting here talking, and you're getting ignored. All right, come on.
Oh, finally. Oh, yes. I don't even have any cats behind me. That's all.
Yeah. I know, I saw you looking cute, scratching your nose with your paws. Alright, Bobby, just get down. Didn't jump into Samson's face. Oh, are you okay, buddy? Yeah. Now I gotta clean my glasses.
Dog nose all over your glasses.
Yeah. Yeah, so I was this little bastard here. So I was trying to get out of bed early one day, and they were dead nuts asleep on me. Like I'm like, all right, guys,
like sacks of potatoes.
I was like, so I was like, hey, you guys want to go outside? Want to go? Like, got them all excited.
Yeah.
So they ran downstairs. I'm like, all right, well, man, I gotta go too. So I'm going in the bathroom, and then all of a sudden Samson just comes upstairs and stares at me and just starts pissing, just locking eyes. Just he's like, "What? What are you doing? Yeah, I see.
You
don't-
lie to me.
yeah, what are you doing? You're not going outside now." And it was like a dead. And I'm like, I'm just like, stop.
I can't stop the flow.
Oh
Good times.
God, pets. Did I tell you I bought a table?
The one we were talking about earlier?
Did we talk about that earlier?
The bowling alley one?
Yes.
Yes.
Bowling lane. That thing's heavy.
Yeah. It'll be pretty cool, though.
It is. It's way too big. I have it in the kitchen right now, and it's like literally as long as one of the walls.
Oh, no.
And we only dropped it once. Broke off some crappy molding, but
Eh.
fix that to do a man project or something.
Excuse me.
Sand it up.
Clean up all nice.
Yeah. I'm really debating whether I have to sand the whole thing and, reseal it.
Right.
But then I don't know if I sand it, it's going to knock out all like the little indents from the balls landing on it. Because it's the maple portion of like the landing of the that first like 10 feet solid maple.
I don't know if I'd sand that down then. It has character now.
It has that cool look, like the light catches it and it's like a little wavy and it's got the little dimples on it from the balls hitting it.
Man.
But man.
If anything, you might be able to put a thin piece of plastic on top of it to kind of protect it.
Like an epoxy layer over the whole thing, like seal the whole top in epoxy.
No,
that way
I'd almost... No, because then that'll ruin that.
No, I mean I've seen that done before, where you build up a clear coat to the point like you do on a car, the clear coat, and you polish wet sand and polish that clear coat, preserving anything that's going on underneath it. Like there's a couple car things you could do to antique something.
Sure.
Like say you have like an old timey like fender or something, you put like 6 or 7 layers of paint and you sand down to get the desired look.
Right.
What you want, clear coat over the whole thing and just seal that look in place.
Right.
I don't know. That sounds like a lot of work.
Yeah. All right.
Alrighty.
I'm ready to start when you are.
Alright, ready in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back, everybody. We got releases this week for March 7th, 2016. It's March already.
Why?
What is happening? Tom Clancy's The Division for the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC.
I mean, this game looks really good, and this game looks like a better Destiny. And then I keep thinking, I spent a lot of time in Destiny. Can I afford to pick up The Division? And I get like that sick pit in my stomach, like, no.
Yeah. Like,
don't do it yourself again.
I don't know.
I'll wait for a while, I think.
Yeah, well, I'm going to see how it's received and see if it's everything we were hoping it could be.
Well, and also see if, they released a video a couple days ago of all the DLC plans they have this year, but is it going to be one of those things where it's like, oh yeah, The Division is really great, and then 2 months later it's just like, wait, is anyone playing this anymore? Nah, there's no content.
Oh,
Does it have the Titanfall problem?
That's kind of the concern. Once bit, twice shy with a lot of that stuff.
Well, there's so many of these competitive, so many of these online shooters.
Yes.
That can you lift up a group of people from your list and then sort of plop down into a new game whole hog?
Well, I mean, Battlefront sure as heck didn't do it.
Right. Even though you tried.
That's what we were all hoping for.
Yeah.
That game rubbed me weird from the word go.
Yeah.
I wanted to love it so much. I tried. I tried like a battered wife.
It just didn't do it.
No, didn't do it at all. Hitman for the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC.
Seems like they're still going with the episodic thing on this game, like now the true episodic model, so I guess maybe, unless you're the world's biggest Hitman fan, maybe wait for a little bit.
Yeah,
see how that goes.
Wait for some content.
I trust IDOS, but I don't know if it's going to be... It seems like a game that's a lot more ambitious to do episodic than point-and-click adventure games.
Yeah.
So
I mean, They have to just keep to a schedule. It's
Yep.
all they have to do. That's
Yep.
the secret.
Yeah. There's the secret sauce out us.
Or make it so good that you ignore that.
Yeah, that
Like
people are
that's
happy to wait.
right. You have the don't nod system where you're continuously on time, or you have the telltale system where it's just yeah, sure, it's done.
Right. And then you have the valve system where you just don't make it.
Where you just don't follow any rules at all and just let it lead everybody hanging.
Yeah, you make digital hats and then you rake in the money.
Yep.
All right, moving on to news stories. AMD says they want to standardize the external GPU. This is interesting, and I feel like we haven't been covering a lot of PC news lately, so I figured let's try and get more PC stuff into the show every once in a while here. There is already, there are already external GPUs that use either Thunderbolt if they can, or they'll use USB 3.0 to kind of get a GPU into your system somehow. I think this is really interesting because this could potentially maybe do away with quote-unquote gaming PCs or gaming laptops, which are historically very big and very heavy, and the battery lasts for 2 hours if you're lucky. What this could mean is, Knobs, maybe even in your case, you have a Surface that you really love. If they could get a standard in place that Microsoft could adopt along with it, you want to play a game on your Surface, just plug this thing in, and now you have a 980, with your Surface. That's a little pie in the sky, but
Yeah, but it's I understand like the point of melding all this stuff to make everything do everything, but sometimes you just don't want everything to do everything too.
right,
Like my Surface has a little piece in place in my lifestyle.
yeah.
It's
My
fine.
couch
My,
surfing,
my phone's got a certain piece in place in my lifestyle.
right.
I don't need to pull this up and beef it up with hardware.
I think the thing too that I was also thinking of is the same stuff that we were talking about during the pre-show, which is I like building computers, but I'm tired.
Yeah.
And if I was able to, I have a 760 in my desktop right now. Effectively, that's useless for new games. Everyone's saying, all these games are saying, oh, well, you need a 980. You have anything less than a 980. Pfft,
Yeah.
don't even buy our game, you garbage human.
Yeah, I'm still running an S770.
Yeah. So like we're still in the same boat. If we were able to go out and say, all right, let me go to Newegg, let me get a new external video card, plug that into the back end of my PC, now I have a 980. Without having to open this thing up, and I know this sounds like a first world problem, like, oh, I have to shut down my computer and open it up. I don't want to. It's in a place where I like it. It's a StarCraft 2 limited edition is leaning against it. I don't want to move this thing. Grown Gamer in chat actually brings up a really good point too. Says this sounds like a way to bump everyone that can't run VR up to building without building a new rig. That's a really. I mean, if you look at what Sony's doing with the PS4, they're saying, all right, here is this. We have the PS4 here, and it needs a little bit extra oomph. So plug in this other box to get you up to VR. If there was a bundle for that on PC where it's, all right, here's 2 SLI'd 980s and a headset and a controller, all for, how much? $1,000, whatever. Here's your VR starter kit. You can buy it at Costco. Maybe that makes some of that adoption a little bit easier. That's a really good point.
That is an excellent point, and that didn't even cross my mind until you brought it up there.
Yeah.
That's an elegant fix to probably a complicated problem.
Yeah. Without having to buy a new PC, especially, we were talking on the pre-show too.
It depends on what they're priced at too.
Sure. But I mean, what we were talking about too is RAM for the most part has been stable. CPUs for the most part have been stable. If you can get a PC that you like, and your PC and your RAM and your motherboard and all that stuff is fairly static, but the only thing you want to keep changing out is a video card, an external GPU sounds pretty good.
God, you miss the days when you had to upgrade because the processors had changed so much.
Right, where like every 2 or 3 years, it's like, all right, well, I need a whole new motherboard and a whole new
Yes.
power supply, and this RAM is garbage now. So I'm like 5 generations old in the last year.
Well, yeah, because I remember running that Pentium 3 and goosing that thing to about 3.2 gigahertz.
Hmm.
And and then like, all right, now I'm trying to research like, all right, how do I get a bigger processor in this slot, this whatever. I forgot the numbers now. Jeez.
Yeah,
It's been so long. Because like, I now have like the AMD AM2 slot, so
right.
I can pretty much do whatever I want.
Well, remember the Pentium 2, which came in that little shield, and it was like a
Yeah.
rectangle.
Yeah.
As soon as Pentium 3 came out, they're like, oh, it's back to normal size, and it's just like, come on, you're
Yeah.
killing me. Ugh.
Oh.
All right, next news story. E3 is going to be interesting this year. Wargaming and Disney Interactive announced that they are not going. This is on the heels of EA in January saying, we're going to have our own show. And Activision Blizzard saying, we're just not going to go. So this is 4 pretty big publishers. Well, I think people forget how big Wargaming is. 4 pretty big publishers that are saying, E3, I'm good. I got other shit. I have a conflict in my schedule. My dog has to get his nails cut. I'm just
Well,
gonna not show
I'm
up.
sure they're just tired of the noise.
Well, and I think the thing I was thinking too, as I was typing up show notes today, I'm thinking, well, as a publisher, what are your other options? And your other options are your YouTube channel,
Right.
YouTube channels of famous YouTubers, and just get them a beta and have them cover it. You can put out an open beta on consoles now. That's not even just relegated to PCs, so you can just do that. That's a demo nowadays. You can, and I think one of the biggest weapons in somebody's arsenal right now from a publishing standpoint is do your own live stream. You want to show your game? Do a 2-hour live stream maybe once a month.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't think this can kill E3, but that whole model, like, it was born in a time when we didn't have the internet.
Right.
Like these expos and stuff were something like CES. Like, you would have to go there to see all the crazy hot new technologies. And
Or wait until EGM came out and it's like,
Right.
here's our E3 issue and it's 450 pages.
right, you'd be like, that's awesome. I wish I could go to something like that.
Yep.
And now the internet allows you to see all this stuff almost in real time.
Yep. Well, I mean, like, even the thing we bring up the most during when we're talking about E3 is Nintendo. They go in sort of a cursory fashion now. What they show is pre-recorded, and they have a pre-recorded thing every month. So
Yeah.
E3 coming around once a year, they're like, okay. I mean, they just had a Nintendo Direct on, was it Thursday or Friday of last week? And they spent an hour showing off, like, 6 new games. We're done. You know, like,
Yeah, it's not like you had to hit those dates for announcements anymore. You can just do it whenever.
yep. I mean, you probably remember as much as I do, developers talking about in the past where it's like, all right, we have to have our vertical slice demo ready for E3,
Yep.
and we're starting a new game, and we started it months out early enough so that we get that E3 demo done, and then once we're done with that, we can get the next. And now, you don't really need to anymore. And
No, it's no one really, and it's a fact. I mean, I don't think anyone really cares. It doesn't have that. It's turning into the Spike Video Game Awards.
I think
Is what it feels like. It's just it's hitting lowest common denominator across the board.
And I think when you just said that nobody really cares, I think what they do care about is PAX.
Yep.
And they care about these fan expos that are doing what E3 I think probably always wanted to do, which was open it up to public without any real avenue forward to do that. And from everybody that goes, they're doing it really well.
Mm-hmm.
So when you look at E3, I think more and more developers and publishers are sort of looking at it and going, okay. I mean, we'll send a dude, I guess. We'll have a tiny booth.
it's essentially, it looks like a job fair anymore.
Right.
Like, yeah, here's some pens. Like,
Yeah.
have fun. You can play my game? Great. Here's a pen.
Yeah.
Here's a button.
And that's like at some point it's as much of a bummer as video game magazines going the way of the dodo, but
Hmm.
it's when you look at the alternative, the internet was the alternative for video game magazines, and the benefits were clear. Even though I have this romantic feeling like people have for the Wild West, where it's sort of video game magazines. It was great getting once a month and reading them. Those were the days. Then you look at the internet and go, yeah, that's pretty great. When you look at E3, you have all this stuff that I just listed earlier and that we've been talking about, plus probably 10 things I just missed.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
It's just one of those things that it's like large conventions. Unless you have like a really dedicated populace that's going to go to these things, that's worth your time to announce. But I'm pretty sure everyone has done the market research that showing something at E3 isn't really paying off like it
Right.
used to.
And I don't think it's a bad thing for E3 to potentially scale back. Just
No,
get.
I think if they want to survive, they need to scale back and be more like the boutique show that PAX is.
Right. And be more like CES, where it's not the biggest thing ever, and no one booth is the hugest, except for like maybe Samsung or whatever. But try and get a little bit more focused, get a little bit more streamlined. Maybe not go to the one where it was all in hotel rooms. That one apparently was terrible. But I don't know.
But it just seems that because it's so consistent and there are more conventions now or more trade shows that it's become an old hat.
Yep. Yeah, they gotta find something to stand out. They have to find some way to stand out, other than here's the thing that gets shown on the 9 o'clock news the day it happens. Like, video
Yeah.
gamers around the world can go to LA to see the Electronic Entertainment Expo, otherwise known as E3.
But then even on that side, like you still like comic book conventions still thrive,
Yeah.
and it just I mean I would have thought like even the one in Cleveland they just had the Wizard Con they had in Cleveland was huge.
But those are open to the public. I think that's the one defining characteristic that's really going to hold E3 back going forward is it's trade only. So it's all these reporters and all these industry people going and seeing these games, but
Oh yeah, and with the whole aristocrat. Well, yeah,
yeah,
I've seen better stuff at PAX, but
the
dude,
the people in my convention.
yeah,
That's a
it's where,
it's a good laugh, Archibald.
oh,
Yeah.
whatever.
All right, skipping the next news story, let's talk about Microsoft's plans for the Xbox One. Microsoft held its Xbox Spring Showcase, and Phil Spencer came out and said that they're looking at the possibility of sort of...
Is it happening? Is it happening?
What's that?
Wireless headset?
What?
The wireless headset?
No, Knobs, that's never going to happen.
Oh!
They're saying that they're looking at potentially growing the Xbox One hardware over the life of the Xbox One. Instead of saying that, all right, well, the Xbox One's done, here's our next box, they're looking at sort of leveraging the application platform that they have running on the Xbox plus their whatever crazy cloud computing black box that they have to kind of continue to extend that. And they actually said that they're sort of looking at what Sony is doing with the PlayStation VR box that is going to connect to the PS4 whenever they decide to announce that. Probably E3.
Well, I'm glad we still have that.
Yeah, thank goodness. Looking at sort of taking this modular approach to kind of expanding for the older generations of us. Think maybe 32X.
Sega CD.
Sega CD, yeah, why not? Make this horrible Xbox One monstrosity. It's not big enough. Let's put more stuff on top of it.
Get your soldering kits out, kids.
Yeah, this is kind of an interesting idea that I know a lot of people are dismissing out of hand, just saying like, whatever, Microsoft, shut up. I think it's interesting, but the only thing I'm worried about from Microsoft's standpoint is where do you balance between replacing hardware and then pushing off hardware replacements with Microsoft's cloud? Because I feel like bandwidth limitations still require you to not push the cloud too much. And
Isn't it ironic that I find out that they're putting the cloud computers in the ocean? Like, I just find it hilarious.
are they?
Well, aren't they? Isn't that what they're doing? The Microsoft servers?
I have no
They're
idea.
dropping them in the Pacific Ocean
I have
in
no
these
idea.
modular things for cooling.
You know, with Microsoft, either that's a headline from The Onion or the thing they're actually doing.
No, they're actually doing that. It could be the Onion. I could be wrong, but
But it's believable.
it
Where it's like,
is.
oh, we made these server processing silos and we just put them off the coast of the Pacific. Right?
Yes.
It's like,
Yeah.
maybe? I
Yeah,
don't
they're gonna
know.
have wave generating power and stuff. Like it's brilliant. They can drop all this stuff in. You don't have to eat up a building.
Right.
You don't have to worry about cooling because it's in the ocean.
You just, yeah, if you ever want your servers to be really cool, you just put them in cold water, like an ocean.
Yeah, why
It
not?
sounds foolproof.
It's hermetically sealed. What could go wrong?
Yeah, nothing. It should be fine. Oh, Xbox Live went down. Why? Oh, well, a fish got into one of our server silos and
We
just went crazy.
sprung. They're like they're bound servers. We sprung a leak. We'll be back soon.
Yeah, exactly. Uh,
A little sailor bailing it out. This
yeah. One of those animated GIFs from the early days of the internet, which is one of those dudes scooping out Earth.
But they were talking about doing that with for businesses that want their cloud computing like on site, that they build like a big retention pond and just
Right.
submerge these things. And now,
We're an
but
oil
then I started
rig
thinking,
that
it's like,
really needs
wouldn't the
servers.
ambient temperature around those be so warm? Like you're gonna turn the Pacific Ocean to a sauna? Like
Not in my backyard.
I don't know. It's only 2/3 of the surface area of the planet, so I can't imagine that these little boxes are gonna do much.
Grown Gamer in chat says, I can already see the anonymous sub doing deep sea DDoS. That's funny and possibly real. We're
Yeah.
anonymous. We rented a sub and we just bombed the hell out of the Xbox Live infrastructure.
Right, yeah, like that's it. They'll call them depth charge attacks or something.
Yeah. Ugh. All right, next news
So
story.
one ping only, sure.
Sony announced the PS4 version 3.50 firmware coming out. Usually we don't talk about firmware here, but the big thing that's going on here is the revision they're doing to remote play, where you're going to be able to remote play, like Microsoft has on Windows 10, you're going to be able to remote play your PS4 on Windows PC and OS 10 machines. So that's kind of cool.
What about Flynn OS?
What about my Mint Linux OS?
I know where it is. It's on the web.
Bark, bark. Oh God. I think that's kind of cool. I think as the Vita stumbles off into the sunset, I'm glad to see Sony being proactive about other places to get your remote play experience.
What a Western ending for the Vita.
Yeah,
Like just
came
that
out
poor
hot
thing.
and just all of a sudden got capped in the knee and was really never the same.
And didn't even have the struggles that the PSP did. Like
No.
none of the security things. They tightened the ship up and they just oh no. It's
Oh, now nobody wants to buy
oh
it.
no.
Well, if we have piracy, then people want to buy it, but then they don't buy games. If we don't have piracy, people put games on it, but they don't want to buy it.
It's like lose-lose.
It's just damned if you do and damned if you don't for Sony. I really, as much as it hurts me to say, I really hope this is their last try.
Oh,
For-
you know it's not.
Probably.
You know
not.
it's not. They're gonna figure out some way that they're gonna make that into a VR unit.
Oh, you mean the PS Vita VR? The PSVR?
Yeah, the
PSVVR?
PSVVR. And then, but it's gonna come with some sort of like shoulder straps because it's too heavy for the front of your head. It's
It
gonna
has,
this whole. It's gonna be like the Halo harness that you
yeah,
cannot move.
it just
Like,
has a backpack on it.
yeah,
Jeez.
it's gonna have its own power supply. You gotta hold on like a little backpack. Like,
That's gonna be my prediction for this E3. Backpack VR is the hot new thing. And lastly, our news story. We talked last week about Harmonix saying, "Hey guys, it's time for rhythm games to come out on PC, right, guys? Rhythm, yeah, PC, woo." The reason why is they started a crowdfunding through Fig to bring Rock Band 4, a port of Rock Band 4 to the PC. They're asking for $1.5 million.
oh, good. Come on, guys.
That's...
Come on, Boomer.
He's so upset about it, Knobs.
Yes.
That's so much money, everyone. This is... the
for
one
a
cool,
port. For a port.
They're doing two cool things. One is your existing controllers are going to work. That's cool. Bluetooth
Right.
or USB seems like they're going to work. If you don't have controllers, keep an eye out. They're always on sale. The other thing that is cool is they're bringing back Rock Band Network, the one where you, as an independent artist, could create your songs in a format that would be put into Rock Band 3 on the Xbox 360.
Sweet, I can upload my remixes.
You could, if you had the licenses for them. They're
Shoot.
integrating that into Steamworks. So as part of Rock Band 4 on Steam, you can just say, oh, I want this song and that song and this song, and it'll have this whole Steam-based interface. It's $1.5 million. And it just seems...
Seems a bit rich.
It also seems like it's just this... Like, I don't want to be too mean about it, but it just seems like it's this last desperate gasp. Nothing they have tried for the last couple of years has really worked out since Rock Band 3 came out. Rock Band 4 just flopped. And now they're sort of saying... They even said like a year or two ago, well, we can't really bring Rock Band to the PC because piracy is just so rampant. But now...
My.
Yeah.
The shoe is on the other foot.
So they've raised $350,000 at the time of recording. They have 30 days left. They're 23% of the way through. So they could do it. It almost seems, based on the language they have on Fig, it almost seems like they maybe will do it either way, but try and focus on getting external funding.
Oh, they're just trying to fleece the fan base.
Potentially. But I mean, like, what else are you supposed to think? You know?
I don't know. I'm still waiting for my Goon movie. I'm done crowdfunding.
I funded that too. That's never happening. All right, let's move on to tweets. Whiskmag writes in, thanks. All I can think of when I see Mortal Kombat XL advertisements is Mortal Kombat, pardon me, 10 large.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. He also writes in and says, how much does the default text position influence your choice in dialogue trees? I always wonder how it could be presented better. That's something that maybe I have never thought about, where it's sort of, this one is the default. Do you want to pick that one?
I don't know. I think the anonymity of the whole thing is your experience.
Yeah.
That there's, unless like you're doing what Mass Effect did, you have a clearly Paragon and a clearly Renegade.
And I think Mass Effect
always go left.
Didn't start, like when a dialogue choice came up, it didn't start on one being highlighted, right? I think it just started right in the middle. And
like that was like your second. Yeah, you had to hold the thing and hit the button.
Yeah. I think Mass Effect is probably the way to do it, where you present the options and then there's nothing chosen by default.
Right.
And then that way you'll make sure you don't influence anybody.
That reminds me. I can
Yes.
Continue.
Okay. Let's move to emails.
Emails.
Dan from Winchester, UK, thank you very much, writes in an email titled, "My mind is telling me 360, but my heart is telling me Super NES. Hi guys, how's it going? I've been puzzling about my all-time favorite console. So if I was to say you could only have one games console, excluding PC, with access to all the games on that platform, what would you pick? Thanks for the great podcasts each week." My knee-jerk reaction actually was probably the PlayStation 1.
I might say the Genesis because it's expandable.
That's true. You have 3 platforms worth of games there.
I do.
PS1 probably looks old enough at this point that it might be... Super NES is a really good choice. Genesis is a really good choice. I might pick a really weird one. I might say Game Boy Advance.
Oh.
There's a lot of really great games on that platform and a lot of games on that platform. And I feel like it didn't have the shovelware quotient that the DS did. Grown Gamer actually says, since 360 had almost every system's compilations, you would get the best from old systems anyway. That's a really good point. You get the Genesis collection and get like 800 Genesis games.
Do you have the Bravely Second End Layer demo?
Not yet. It's not out for non-pre-orders.
Somehow I got a code for that.
You are a Gamers Club Unlimited?
Yes.
That's why you got a code.
Do you want it?
I would love it.
All right, I'm forward it to you.
Thank you very much. Yeah, man, Grown Gamer is right. Maybe 360 is the right choice because it has every game from every other system, including, 20 or 30 arcade hits.
You know what? What about a Mean Machine? Oh no, it says PC out.
Yeah.
Hey, a 360 is an excellent choice.
Yeah.
Because that catalog is large.
Yeah. And
a lot of good stuff.
Real high quality. I'm going to stick with what Grown Gamer says in chat. 360 is a pretty good choice. Next email here is titled Debate. Hey duders, Jive495 here. Hey.
Oh my god. My brother in beard.
Yes.
I miss Terry.
It's an election year, so let's talk politics. Who would win a presidential debate between President Dwayne Elizondo Mountain Dew Herbert Camacho or Mr. Torg?
Also, I don't know because I love Camacho.
Also, how quickly would it become a wrestling match, and who would win that?
Oh, I think Torg would win.
Torg is way bigger, and I love
Terry Crews, but Torg
would play dirtier.
I think they're one and the same. They're two sides of the same coin.
Maybe that's true. Maybe they're just fighting for who's president and who's VP.
Camacho's the black keys. Torque is the white keys.
That's true.
It's
ebony and ivory.
That needs to be the ticket.
That's true.
That needs to be the ticket. Camacho Torg 16. Someone make me that shirt.
Oh, jeez. So I think when we compare these two,
explosions.
Whoever wins, America wins.
No, America wins.
America wins.
America.
And last email, TVGP favorite and longtime fan of the show, Moonpeer, writes in.
Hey.
Hey guys, long time no write. This might be long, sorry. So I'm going to pitch a game to play to the community. I would like to play this with more people as it is fun. If I could just blend you guys together, it would be the perfect game for you guys. The game is Elite Dangerous. For knobs, it's Ace Combat in space.
I know, I played the thing and
For Boston, it's a spaceship RPG. So, something that both of us feel very strongly about. So for the community, here we go. Me and Jess, Jess and I have been playing this game a lot over the past few weeks. Anytime I get spare time, I'm in this. I'll admit it's super complicated at first glance, but it's deceptively simple when you get into it. You fly a spaceship, you can bounty hunt, trade, mine, explore, smuggle, pirate, and do whatever you want to do. I heartily recommend it. If you want to play on the Xbox One, it's actually great with a controller, and feel free to connect me to Wing Up. Multiplayer in space is great. And even if you don't want to play it there, jump in on PC, because I honestly believe this game is a true work of art. I'm not even going to talk about politics in the universe or how you can affect each solar system in the Milky Way. Anyway, hit me up if you want to see me playing and want some help, or hunt down scumbags together. I keep hearing about this game, and every time I look at it, I'm like, yeah, that looks like a thing I want to play. But the time I have...
Well, it's partly that, and it essentially, the way I view this game is this is everything you wanted Wing Commander to be.
Sure, like
It
just
is
brought into the modern age.
sans the lion people with the green eyes. It's gorgeous. It plays really cool. I played it like 4 or 5 months ago.
Yeah.
But it's just one of those things that I could see where that's going, and I don't know if I have the wherewithal to really get everything I want out of that game.
Right. There's so many Borderlands games to play.
I know. I'm even talking about playing one again. Come on.
Yeah. We're deep in this rabbit hole.
I am.
So check out Elite Dangerous. Hit a Moon Pier if you want to play some with him. He says you can hunt down scumbags together. And I believe him.
I do.
All right, that's all the emails and tweets we have this week. Thank you very much, everyone, for writing in. If you'd like to visit us, you can do so at tvgp.tv. Email us, tvgpfans@gmail.com. Tweet us at tvgp. And join us on the Discord chat room. It's a lot of fun. And everything else is on the right-hand side of the page.
And don't forget to join the forums. Please mark yourselves on the map. Join us for our week of game nights. It's Monday night, Battlefield 4 on the Xbox One, 10 p.m. EST. Pretty much 10 p.m. across the board for all these.
I think so.
Eastern Standard Time. Tuesdays, Destiny, if that's still going. Wednesdays, Rocket League. Thursday, Steam Game Night. Probably should get a group together for that again. And then those are our dedicated nights. And Friday through Monday, Sunday, whatever. Sunday. Come find us, play some games. I'm always down for Borderlands. You guys want to play Borderlands any day of the week? I'm down to play Borderlands.
That's true. Don't forget you can join the PS4 E1M1 network group. I think that group is open, so just hop in. There's a Steam TVGP group and a TVGP Game Night group.
Yes.
Both of those should be on the forums, so come join all that stuff. Don't forget, on the forums we have the TVGP Game Club game this month, which is Max Payne 3. That's probably wrapping up here shortly-ish. Maybe 2 weeks or so. Plenty of time to play through however long that game is. It's probably not that long. It's a Rockstar game. And I think that's... when you watch this show live, twitch.tv/E1M1 Network, and youtube.com/thatvideogamepodcast for the archives. Pompcast. Thank you very much for listening. We'll see you all next week.
Laters.
While we're talking about titles,
come on, Pompcast.
Eat a little bit of mac and cheese here. Oh, that's a big spoon, so I'm gonna get in my mustache. All right.
Oh my god, I'm looking forward to shaving this thing off, because I'm to the point now. If I take a big bite of something, I get my mustache and pull it right in.
Yep.
Because these hairs are getting long.
All right, I have 4, 5, 7 titles.
Okay.
You write anything? I did Invisible Pinkies. 300 more times. I Am a Borderland. Rocket Till the Wheels Fall Off. You Garbage Human. PSVVR. And Deep Sea DDoS.
I kind of love Deep Sea DDoS.
I do too. I'm going to circle that one because it sounds so good and it sounds so ridiculous.
It is, but every time I rocket to the wheels come off. Yeah. Hey, it up.
All right.
I just hear Nate Dogg. Hey.
All right, I'm going to pick Deep Sea DDoS because it's so good. All right, starting in 3, 2, 1. This is That Video Game Podcast, episode 437 from March 7th, 2016. Deep Sea DDoS.
Abandoned ship?
Top men. All right, thank you very much, everyone, for watching. Whether you're watching on Twitch or YouTube, we appreciate it a great deal. Thank you very much for all these new peeps for coming in, I combined hanging and chatting to changing. I don't think that's even
hanging
a word.
out. I'll hang out.
Yeah. Thank you very much for hanging out and chatting with us. We always appreciate it, and we'll see you next week. Peace.
See ya.